Hello everyone, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Aisyah Zwani binti Nasrullah with my entry number 2415248. So in this video, I would love to share the wonderful insight that I gained after enrolling in Malaysian Society course. So the most important thing that I've gained from this course is the realization of how I have been often overlooked the issues and historical knowledge about Malaysia. So before this class, I rarely paid close attention to local news or deeply thought about how history actually affects our present life. And before joining this class, I saw history as something in the past, just facts and dates. I didn't even realize how historical decisions actually shape our society today. But moving over time in this course, I realized that history is more than just the subject. It's actually the foundation that shape and explain our national identity, our social structures, and even the racial relations in Malaysia today. And for me personally, one topic that really changed my perspective was about the census and agreements that was made before the Independence Day, especially of how British brought in many Chinese and Indian migrants to gain the support for Malaysian independence. This was likely due to the colonial strategies to divide and rule the communities, but it has also resulted in Malaysia becoming a multiracial society. And from some readings and discussion in class, I learned that the definition of Malay is flexible. It is changed over time to ensure that Malays remain as the majority in Tanah Melayu at that time. This actually surprised me and made me think that how race and power are closely tied in our nation. And another thing that really stood out to me after taking this Malaysian Society course is how much politics actually affects how we view race and ethnicity in Malaysia. Honestly, I used to think people in Malaysia were always in conflict about race and ethnicity, let it be Malays, Chinese, and Indians. But the more I observe, the more I realize that actually in our daily lives, most of us actually get along just fine, either be in the neighborhood, schools, and universities. But the problems seem to appear more when the politicians bring it up, either be in political parties issues or any issues regarding them to be the most powerful in economic settings and whatnot. And I took a news about this issue. For example, not long ago, Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim reminded us that Malaysia's harmony is real and that we shouldn't let politicians wreck it with racial issues just to gain support, especially in the political parties issue. That really hits me because sometimes we don't really realize that we are actually being influenced by those narratives. And there was also this academic named Sharifah Munira who said that politicians are using race to gain power, and that is for me dangerous because it creates unnecessary tension among people, especially in our state, which Malaysia practice multiracial society. And I totally agree with that. It made me think that maybe some of the racial issues we see today aren't really coming from the people, from the communities, but actually come from the top, from the politicians, from the people that holds the power. And to add up, I even came across a report from an NGO that said racism and xenophobia cases went up a few years back. This was a bit disappointing to hear, and it makes me wonder if the social media and political campaigns are actually making things worse. I think this is something we really need to reflect on as Malaysians because we can't just let the politics divide us, because we Malaysians are consist of people from multiracial groups. From a sociological point of view, using the structural functionalism noted by Emile Durkheim, I also now understand that unity among different ethnic groups is very essential and vital to maintain the societal stability. After thinking about that, I see that while it is difficult to satisfy each of the groups, we can actually work towards the fairness and in order to reach the harmony within different ethnic groups. I wonder what would happen if more Malaysians truly understood our shared history and didn't fall for the political agendas and political provocations regarding these racial tensions. And if I had a chance to make a change, I would encourage more and more people to be aware of our history and our current issues in Malaysia. we should view history not as just a subject in school, but as part of our daily thinking to connect with the current issues nowadays. Honestly, I am still unsure about whether social media is actually helping or worsening our ethnic unity, but I think I would love to continue to explore that in the future assignments. In short, this course actually opened my eyes regarding the knowledge and awareness about the current issues going on in Malaysian society today. And the most important thing was we need to understand that history still lives within us. It is not just about the subject for us to learn and pass in the exam and the SPM, but history is also actually help us in understand the current issues in Malaysia today. And that's all from me. Thank you.